Hi friends, and welcome back to The Kind Mind. I'm Tasha, and this yoga flow is designed to help you ease anxiety and frustration. It's going to help you connect heart and head, which is going to help you to, live the life that you've always dreamed of. You don't need anything for this flow, it's just something really comfortable to wear, and that's it. Let's go. Okay. Standing, because chances are that if you feel frustrated, you've been tense and you've been all up in your head and you don't really believe in the good right now. So we're going to ease things up, we're going to stir things around, and we're going to start with a somatic exercise, knocking on heaven's door. If you've never done that before, I'm going to explain, and if you know what to do, then you can just start right away. So get your feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart. Your toes are tracking outwards. I'm just going to get a little bit more forward on my mat so I don't hit the wall behind me. And what we're going to do is we're just going to imagine that our arms are maybe some seaweed floating around. And we're going to go from left to right. Be really, really kind and gentle in your knees here. Bend them. Let your arms just do their thing. Don't try to control anything. Chances are that you are, it's my ankle popping. Chances are that you are slapping your booty here. Just completely fine and fair. Our booty deserves a little slapping. You can also close your eyes if that feels good. You can go faster than me, you can go slower than me. You could also do a little breath pattern with this. Maybe you want to inhale on the left and exhale when you get to the right. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And maybe everything that I've just said is way too much and you're struggling to, just be here in the moment and convince yourself to do this because maybe it makes you feel a little bit silly. That's fine. We all work with where we are today, and that is completely fine. So just swing around here, try to have some fun, and again, if you feel a lot of frustration here, then try out the breath pattern. That might really help. And also try to find some fun in this, okay? Give it put your own little spin to it. I think that's how you say it. Make it your own. That's what I'm trying to say, okay? We're gonna keep going for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly come back to the middle. Very good. You can walk your feet underneath your hips, and we're gonna do some gentle neck stretches. So first, get your right ear over your right shoulder, and then really gently put your right hand on your head. Don't pull. Do not pull. Just let your hand gently rest on top of your head and try to drop your left shoulder down. Be careful that you don't get a hollow back here. So maybe you need to get the front of your pelvis up a little bit to find some length in the lower back, and you will know what I mean if you try to get your pelvis up in the front. Very nice. Slowly release your right hand. Slowly come up with your head, and then bring left ear over left shoulder, left hand on top of your head. And again, don't pull. Just let your hand rest here. Let your right shoulder drop down. And be aware of how you, I was about to say shift, but how your weight is split between your left and your right foot. That's what you should be aware of. All right. Slowly get your left hand down, get your head back into the middle, and now we're going to get both hands, interlace your fingers, bring them behind your back, and just bow down here. Again, do not pull. Do not.
Be very careful here. I'm going to turn around so you can see that you don't get round in your upper back here, okay? This is also a stretch, but it's not what we want to do today. So try to be really straight in your back and just let your head come forward, your chin to your chest, and just the weight of your hands on the back of your neck will give some extra weight to pull that down. You might feel a stretch in the very bottom, the very beginning of your skull, maybe in your neck, maybe even between your shoulder blades. And then gently, slowly release your hands. Be mindful here. Be kind to yourself. Lift up your head. Very good. On an inhale, bring both hands up above your head, and with your right hand, grab onto your left wrist. I'm not really sure if you can hear my neighbor right now. He's doing something with the car, I think. And then pull your left arm up and over into a side stretch. Very good. Your left foot, your left heel, your left hip is heavy, so try not to shift your weight here onto your right foot, but leave it evenly on both feet. With your next inhale, come back up in the middle and switch. Grab your right wrist with your left hand and then pull it up and over into a side bend. Very good. Also here, don't shift your weight slowly onto your left foot, but let it be evenly on both feet, and maybe even be a little bit more active in your right foot. Okay. With your next inhale, come back into the middle and slowly bring your hands down. You might even wiggle your fingers. Very good. We're going to turn on the mat, or rather, I'm going to turn. You can stay the same way. Swim your fingers back and then interlace your fingers behind your back. Don't worry if your hands do not come together like this. They can also be apart like this. That is completely fine. Maybe you're gonna get your palms together in time. Maybe you won't, because maybe it's just not good for your body, and that is fine. Okay? That is completely good. All right, bring your feet hip distance apart. Inhale, get long in the spine, and with your next exhale, bend your knees, bend forwards from your hips into a forward fold, while simultaneously bringing your hands up towards the ceiling. Very good. And again, maybe your palms come together. Mine don't, and that is fine. Only thing I'm asking of you here is try to actively bring your hands towards the ceiling, and that's going to take out a lot of pressure from your shoulders. If you're practicing this first thing in the morning, then be mindful, be kind, be careful, okay? Your body still needs some time to wake up. Maybe you can feel the blood rush into your head like I do. And when you're ready with your next inhale, bend your knees, bring your arms back down and slowly come up. Whew, very nice. Release the hands, and we're going to do the same thing, but this time, when you get your hands together, Jesus, get the other finger on top, the one that feels weird and maybe wrong, and the one that feels, that you're avoiding. We're going to do both sides. So again, maybe fists, maybe your palms come together, maybe not. With your next inhale, get long in your spine, and then with your exhale, first bend your knees, then bend forwards, fold forward from your hips, and then bring your hands up towards the sky. And again, don't just let your shoulders drop down here towards your ears, but press your hands actively up into the ceiling, into the sky. Breathe here. Notice the difference from this hand positioning to the one before. And don't judge it. When you're ready, with your next inhale, bring your arms back down, bend your knees, Slowly, slowly, slowly come back up. Very good. And let go of your hands. Inhale, hands all the way up above your head. And exhale, bend forward into a forward fold. Very good. We're going to do something fun, something that might be a little bit challenging. I want you to try. I want you not to give up, and I want you to find some playfulness in what we're going to do. And again, try not to judge, just have fun, you know. With your next inhale, bend your knees, bring your butt basically down as if you're sitting in a chair, and then bring your hands forwards and up. If this is a lot, you can bring your hands in front of your chest, maybe in prayer position, maybe also on your hips. Maybe you also come up a little, give yourself some space, give yourself some grace, give yourself some kindness. Yeah? Good. Utkatasana, chair pose. Maybe you can feel your heart beating here, maybe you can feel some heat. And then slowly shift your weight onto your left leg. Lift up your right leg and cross it over as if you were seated cross-legged in maybe your chair or on a couch. And then also cross your arms. The right arm is going to come on top. The left one is underneath, and you can do an X here, or you can try to bring the palms together like this into eagle pose. Breathe here. Maybe if you have a wall close, you can get one hand on the wall. Maybe you can have a chair in front of you to help yourself. Very good. And then first we're going to unravel the arms and then unravel the legs. We're still in Utkatasana. We're not done yet. Trust you can do it. Shift your weight over to your right leg. Bring your left leg on top, cross it over. Don't worry about getting your foot anywhere. Just cross your legs over, that's fine. And then cross your arms, left arm on top, and either you're gonna do an X or get your hands together. And maybe you're shaking here. Maybe this is challenging for your balance. That is completely fine. Breathe here. And if you fall, just come back. It's all good. Inhale and exhale. Very good. Slowly unravel the arms. Bring the left foot back down into the floor. Inhale here and exhale. Oh, bend forward. Forward fold. Amazing. Breathe here for a little bit. Maybe you want to bring your feet a little bit wider than hip distance. Oh, that feels good to me. Bend your knees a little bit, and then maybe get opposite elbow with opposite hand. And then as a last little act of self-love, release your neck. Very good. Breathe here. Maybe you want to float a little bit from left to right. Amazing. And if you're moving here, then slowly come back into stillness, into the middle. Bring your hands down on the floor. Walk them out a little bit. Walk your feet back one by one into a down dog just for one breath. Inhale here. Let your heels become really heavy. Press out of your hands. And exhale, bend your knees. Bring them down. Whew. Amazing. We're gonna end this little dance of ours that we did with something even more dancey, something very fun. We're gonna do dancing camel. And before we get into it, something about back bends that I really want you to think about. It is not, I'm gonna lift up my shirt so you can see better. It is not you doing this and then bending backwards. We don't want to arch the back. Instead,
think about lifting the front of your pelvis up in this direction. So not here, but up. And then squeeze your butt, okay? Make it active, because that is going to help your lower back to be stable. And it's also going to allow to do a heart opener, which is actually on the front of our body, not in the back of our body, okay? So bear that in mind and don't go too far, okay? Accept where your body is today, because it is fine. It is good. Alrighty. So, 2 different ways that we could do this. Either you're going to take your right hand onto your hip, get your pelvis forward, squeeze your butt, and then with your next inhale, bring your left arm over your head and backwards. Slide back, bend here. Exhale. Come forward. Switch. Left hand to the hips. Inhale, right hand comes up and back. Be aware of your pelvis, be aware of your butt. And exhale. Come back forward. Nice. Keep doing this. If you want to maybe explore something a little bit deeper, we can. Instead of bringing your hand on your hip, bring your hand back and onto your heel while lifting the other one up and over. And if you're trying this variation, then really push your hips forward. So push them, well, forward, away from you, okay? And squeeze your butt. Do me this one favor, squeeze your butt and lift your pelvis upwards. Bring it upwards towards your chest, okay? So inhale here. Exhale, come back up. Switch sides. Hand on the heel. Inhale. Hand up. And exhale. Very nice. One more on each side. Inhale. Hand back. Exhale, come up. And one more for good measure. Inhale. Hand comes back. And exhale. Come back up. Very good. Get your butt down onto your heels. If this is uncomfortable, then maybe if you have your props, your yoga blocks close, you can get a yoga block and get it in between your heels. Sit up on that block. And don't worry about getting your knees all the way together. They can be apart. That's completely fine. Sit up straight, hands on your thighs. Lower your gaze down to the ground or close your eyes and breathe here and observe. Maybe your whole heart space is being active now. Maybe you can feel some energy moving around in the body. Maybe you can feel some heat. Maybe you can feel some drive inside of you. Observe and notice. Keep your eyes closed and trust yourself on how you want to end this session. You can either stay here in hero pose, or if it feels better, you can get into a child's pose, maybe an extended one, maybe a normal one, whatever you fancy. Maybe even bring your fists onto each other so you can rest your forehead. Breathe deep and take one more moment to realize what your heart is trying to tell you. And if it's not speaking to you yet, maybe
you can notice a feeling, or maybe just an urge or an image of an idea, which is amazing. If you're in child's pose, slowly come back up into a seated position, whichever one feels good for you. Bring your hands together in prayer, rub them, create some heat. 3, 2, 1, and then lay them on your heart center. And find a slight, so tiny bend, forward bow, bow, chin towards your chest. Thank you for your time. Thank you for trusting me. I hope this helps, and I'll see you next time.